In this video, I show you a unique way to play scales on your guitar and by extension, melodies and riffs using open strings. The technique produces a very cool sound that can be used across a number of different styles of music, including blues, rock, jazz, pop, and country. Hi, this is Simon Candy from AcousticGuitarLessonsOnline.net, and today I want to show you how to get one of my favorite sounds on guitar. It involves the use of open strings and transforms an everyday scale into something quite unique, both in the sound and the melodies and riffs that you can then create from the scale. What you're about to see is an excerpt from a masterclass I presented to my online students. Watch carefully as I demonstrate how to get this sound through open strings and scales on your guitar. Okay, so we're going to begin here with two positions for our G major scale using this open string concept. And here's what we do. I'm going to take this G major scale that we probably all know here at the third position with all the fretted notes. Now, what we want to do first is identify the notes in that scale that also exist as open strings. Those notes are the A at the 5th fret, that exists as an open 5th string, of course. We've got a D note also at the 5th fret on string 5, that exists as an open string. We've got a G note up here on the 4th string, that exists as an open string. We've got a B note, also 4th fret on the 3rd string, that exists as an open string. So each one of those notes, when I play the scale, I'm going to replace with the equivalent open string. And when we do that, we get this really cool open string sound as we play the scale. Okay, sounds a little bit different than just simply playing every note fretted. And that's the whole basis of our sound here. We get that really cool ringing through the open string with the fretted notes. Okay, so we're going up our scale and we can descend the same way. Okay, and what you'll find is with this first position for our G major scale, there are no two notes consecutively on the same string. Each note is on a different string to the previous note. Okay, that's a unique characteristic about this first position for our G major scale. So again, we've replaced all the notes that exist as open strings with open strings. To keep true to the fact that the notes there's no two notes on the same string, I did alter the position of two of them from the original scale position. We had a G here on the 2nd string, I moved that to the G 3rd fret on the 1st string, and we had a D note on the 3rd string at the 7th fret, I moved that to the 2nd string so that I could make sure no two notes were on the same string, okay, consecutively, both ascending and descending the scale. Okay, the other scale position that's going to be used frequently with this approach today is similar. It's G major. However, I'm going to move some of the notes further up around this area of the fretboard, around the 7th fret. And what happens when I do that is I will get some notes that are on the same string, one after the other consecutively. So when that's the case, I use legato. So it's not going to be the case for the whole scale, but it will be the case for part of the scale. Okay, so I play my G here where I started, I play my open A, and then I come up to my B here and I hammer down onto the C because they're both on the same string, one after the other. Then I play my equivalent open D string or the open D string, and then I do another hammer on E to F sharp on string 5, open 3rd string G. Then it sort of reverts back to this approach we had with the first scale, where we have notes on different strings. Just trying to do it slowly here while talking. So once again, we get the legato approach here, then back into this. Okay, so it's a slightly different position for the same scale, okay, being G major, but it's indicative of how we apply some of this stuff when we're using our open string approach. We're going to see this with riffs and melodies and solos and so forth throughout today's masterclass, but these are the two scales to practice to get this technique into your playing and to get the basic concept down, because from the scales will come the riffs, the melodies, the solos, etc. So in addition to that, we can combine these two scale approaches here. Okay, so here's what we can do. We can go up the first one, and then we can come down the second one. Okay, so I'm going up the first G major scale, and then across to the second one, and I'm coming down. Okay, so that's a nice way that can combine the two approaches. So to summarize, there's two scales, but kind of three approaches, right? We've got the first scale, where no two notes appear consecutively on the same string. Then we've got the second scale position, where some notes do appear on the same string consecutively, so we use legato, hammer-ons and pull-offs. We move up to this area. And then finally we can go up one and down the other to combine. Okay, so that's what I want you to work with first when you're doing this approach with the G major scale, so you can start to get this concept into your playing. Okay, so before we move on here, let me just show you something that will allow you to get a lot more mileage with this approach. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to convert our G major scale that we've just played, each position, to C major. And all we have to do is flat the F sharp, because the difference between a C and G major scale is the F sharp note. So if every time I get an F, or I come to the F in each of these scale positions, an F sharp that is, I flat it to F, then I have C major. Okay, so here I am here. There's the F right there. And then there's the next F up the octave right there on the 6th fret of the 2nd string, and then my G. Okay, that's my C major scale. I am starting on the G note. So technically we could say that's G mixolydian. Of course, if I'm playing C major, I have access to all the modes of C major, so there's a lot more mileage to be had there too. But let's just think of it as C major. But I want to grab every note that I that's in that position, that's in that key. So I'm going to start it from the G. Okay, so again, just flat the F, and you've got C major. I can do the same with this position that we had for G, just flat the F here on the 8th fret of the 5th string, and here at the 10th fret on the 3rd string, and we can come back down. Okay, so for that position again, it was the F there, and here. And of course then we could go up now, what is C major, and down, the second position, okay? Now we've got C major, not just G major. Now let's think about it a bit of a different way. Let's keep the F sharp from G major and let's sharp the C. What do we get? We get D major, because we get the F sharp and C sharp. So I'm going to start on the G note again, but I'll be playing within the key of D major here by sharpening the C sharp each time it occurs, right? So here it is here and here, right there and there. Okay, so I'll play that once more. And of course we can do it over here. There it is there and here. So that's the second position we had for the G major scale originally, and we're just sharpening the C to C sharp. And as a result, we get D major. Starting on the G, so it's a little bit like saying, well, okay, it's kind of sounding a bit like G Lydian, which is a mode of D major. So yes, we could say it's that, but let's just stay with the parent key here and just see it as D major. And we could do the combined scale. Okay, going up the G major and down here. Okay, now why C and D major, and why even G major to begin with? Well, because all the open strings are in those keys. Okay, D major has the E, the B, the G, the D, the A, the E in it. They're all very suitable keys for this approach because all keys contain the open string notes. Okay, so that's why I started with G major, and that's why we are altering it to become a C major scale and altering it to become a D major scale, because they're very compatible keys for this open string concept that we're working with. And you're going to see that that is going to give you a whole lot more mileage with the licks and the riffs and the solos that you play when you realize you just have to make a slight alteration to get a whole new key. Okay, so that's what I want you to work with as well when you're working on your scales with this open string concept. If you like the fingerpicking approach for playing scales covered in today's video and would like to further your skills in the style of fingerpicking, then check out the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course, a complete system for fingerpicking acoustic guitar, so simple even a beginner can learn it. I've carefully designed this course to do all the heavy lifting for you, as far as knowing exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it in regard to mastering the art of fingerpicking guitar. All you have to do is follow the pathway I've laid out for you. In the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course, you will learn and master all the key concepts, methods, strategies, and techniques needed for fingerpicking. So you'll never put your guitar down in frustration again, thinking, how the hell do I do this? You'll also discover the exact order in which to do things, avoiding the all too common mistakes most people make when learning to fingerpick guitar, saving you precious time and frustration. Have your hand held every step of the way with the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course. It will take you from wherever you are right now with your fingerpicking to where you would love to be, enjoying every part of the process along the way. So click the link in the description below this video and check out the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course. Let me know in the comment section what acoustic guitar topics you'd like to see covered in future videos. I read every comment and I would love to hear what you have to say. If you like this video, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell button so YouTube can tell you when I've released a new video. This is Simon Candy from acousticguitarlessonsonline.net. Thank you as always for watching this video. I appreciate your time and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.